Hello, my name is Ivana and this is my PowerPoint presentation about my proposed professional portfolio proposal. To begin, I will explain my idea for this project. Due to my continuous interest in Blender and the 3D space, I want to create a cinematic piece of animation made entirely in 3D, specifically in Blender. The idea of what will happen is as follows. The animation will start in a library/room scene with a desk, window and bookshelves full of books. The camera view will be used to represent the user's eyes as their viewport. As the animation continues, one of the books on the shelves will float towards the viewers, coming to a stop on the desk in a closed form, which is also where my Adobe Illustrator skills will come in to create the original cover and book title. That will then be imported inside of Blender and used as a material for the book. Then the book will open, flapping the pages until it stops in the middle of the book, in which after the camera view will move down and forward, which after there will be a smooth transition to transport the viewers into another space, which is a fantasy forest. As the animation continues, the viewers will walk forward and see a crystal scepter. When they get close to it and go to touch, there will be modeled hand that comes down from under the camera view to represent the user's own hands. Another transition will happen and the viewers will be transported back into the room after they try to touch the scepter. The reasoning behind this idea is both personal and artistic. Artistic in the sense of using 3D to recreate a concept and a feeling when readers get when they read a book and they get transported into another world. And also it's personal since I myself read in my spare time and know this kind of feeling pretty well of being transported into another world. This moodboard showcases a visual onlook on the ideas for the scenes and how the scenes can look in the final rendering, as well as some potential color schemes that can be used, keeping in mind 1 to 2 colors will be the same to make sure that the two scenes are cohesive and complement each other without overwhelming or making harsh changes for the viewers. Behind this project, it's not only the personal and artistic reason, but also the future reason of future potential job opportunities. With this in mind, I researched some potential professions that focus on 3D. One of them is a 3D generalist that needs to have a vast understanding of different aspects of 3D, like texture, models, animation, and rendering, that focuses on all aspects, not only one. Another profession is a product designer. This job creates products but also considers users' experience and interest, and is a mix of 3D and dealing with users personally to bring their products to life, and as well as making sure that the products we bring to the users, have their interest taken into consideration. But the final profession that spoke to me the most is a 3D modeler that creates models of characters, environments and objects based on the client's wants and concepts, needing to understand how to model texture and use lighting to the best of its abilities. This profession is the one that spoke to me the most, that I want to do in the future, modeling concepts and bringing them to life using 3D and textures. For a 3D modeler, the required skills are many and they're all diverse, but some of the most important ones are creativity. Being able to create satisfying results highly depends on the individual's creativity, as well as teamwork. With modelers being only one part of bringing concepts to life, it's highly likely, if not guaranteed, that 3D modelers will have to work closely with other departments, and being a good team player is of great importance. With all these skills required, I know I have some skill gaps, such as modeling complex scenes, not understanding the full capabilities of software, and not having explored it to that extent limits my ability to create highly complex and difficult scenes which will be required for this job. However, to help myself make those skill gaps smaller, this project is aimed at targeting my weak areas and improving them. Creating longer animations made in Blender and transitions between scenes are all problems I have to overcome in this project, as well as creating complex scenes, since the forest scene will be detailed and more complex than the library one. To help inspire myself, I looked at what's out there already, and there are so many approaches to creating such scenes and experiences in 3D. Some use more realistic approaches, such as the lower example in the bottom left. while others use low poly models, like the top right, which convey a message but with less details, which also helps with rendering time. My model will be in between the realistic and the low poly, so in the medium poly, to focus on giving it enough time to render but also bring enough details to make the experience more enjoyable for the viewers. These are some earlier and very rough sketches of some of the different components that have to be made for the room, like a vase with flowers, a window with things on it such as a jar of pens, things to help make the scene feel more personal to the viewers, as well as some earlier modeling in Blender of the bookshelves to help how it will look like in 3D form. Finally, this is a roughly sketched storyboard that helps visualize the project plan, using this to help remember the next steps in the animation, as well since to be a longer animation than anything I've made before, and remembering what comes when. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation.